and benefited, marking a greater impact in the lives of 18,200 beneficiaries in 3 counties. 82% of the beneficiaries being female and 27% being male. The school of the program has been launched to add an additional 6,500 or so by the end of March 2022. We established the basic building blocks for social protection and an equitable and objective process to the distribution of our limited resources. The Liberian Household Social Registry, under the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, is well on its way with 233,000 household profiles across 5 counties: Bombay, Bom, Nimba, Maryland, and Mosobaro. Continues across the country, and I would like to encourage all also to participate. Mr. Speaker, our government remains cognizant of mainstreaming gender in the formulations of policies and programs that drive the development of Liberia. With support from the UN counterparts, we have developed for the first time the country's gender equality profile. It provides in-depth analysis that will enhance the understanding of the differences in the conditions, needs, participation rates, access to resources, and property rights, development, planning, and control of assets, decision-making power between girls, women, boys, and men in their assigned gender roles. Mr. Speaker, members of the 54th Legislature, during the period under review, the government and its partners implemented several programs intended to improve the lives of the country's youth. This is a sector that is central to every program meant to empower ordinary people. The young people of Liberia have already gone through quite a lot, while many have advanced to the next stage of their life. Other needs for push. Almost the many programs we have initiated to improve living conditions for young people is the Youth Entrepreneurship and Empowerment Program. Yet, a $2.4 million initiative funded by the African Development Bank to get graduating students work ready. We also are implementing entrepreneurship development program, Liberian employment and entrepreneurship program, and the recently launched Recovery of Economic Activity for Liberia Informal Sector Employment, which will provide short-term employment opportunity to a much wider demographic, including young people. The government also wholly sponsor a national youth literacy program and a national cadet program. The Moruba Vocational Training Center, LVTC, continue to provide vocational and technical skills to youth of diverse backgrounds. The center offers a variety of training courses, including heavy-duty and auto mechanic, welding and fabrications, auto electricity and electricity, electronics, refrigeration and air conditioning, masonry, plumbing, architectural drafting, carpentry, and graphic arts. The European Union has approved additional 26 million euros to cover the cost of establishing state-of-the-art TVET school in the rest of the 8 counties that do not have it. It is in the of our vision to have TVET institution in all 50 counties. This initiative are targeted at all Liberian youth, regardless of which county they may reside in. Thousands have already benefited over the ensuing period. The government will dedicate more resources in order to tackle the growing menace of disadvantaged youth, otherwise referred to as youth. As we are focused on the youth, let me highlight an activity that keep them physically and mentally strong. Sports. Despite the challenges the country's sports program has faced, it has been improving years, with the county meet being the major highlight. Once again, I would like to congratulate Lipa County for finishing this year soccer category. My congratulations also go to all other winners. The tournament has brought Liberians together regardless of our differences. It is my hope that the momentum can be sustained while we show the national soccer team that Blue Star can build on this energy. It would be remiss of me if I did not also take this opportunity to personally congratulate the volleyball and the basketball team from Glencoe County. The volleyball and basketball team from Glencoe County for their historical victory in these categories in the 2022 National County Meet. They made history in 2 ways. Firstly, they won the first ever volleyball category that was included in the county meet. And secondly, they are the first county to ever win 2 categories in the county meet. Congratulations. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to inform you that in spite of our effort to upgrade the team, we still did not qualify for 2 of the main soccer events in the world: the World Cup and the African Cup of Nations. But we remain committed to doing more.
Well, we are having some difficulty there, our connection in Liberia. So let's keep watching. Let's see what's going on here. Hopefully, the president's speech will get back on track for some reason. All right, there you go.
To permit me to use this opportunity to speak directly to the Liberian people, wherever they may reside, beyond the walls of this chamber, both within our borders and out in the diaspora. I thank you. My fellow citizens, in 2017, I came to you promising the following: to give you power, to improve our economy, to empower our youth, and to sustain the peace. Against this backdrop, You elected me as the president of Africa's first independent country, Liberia. On the day of my inauguration, you and I and Liberia made history together. For the first time in many decades, on January 27, 2018, our democracy witnessed a smooth transfer of power from one elected government to another, and from one ruling political party to another political party in opposition. We also witnessed the inauguration of Liberia's first ever female vice president, Excellency Dr. Joel. First was the venue itself, the Samuel K. Doe Sports Stadium, where the Liberian inauguration ceremony was held outdoors in the open air for the very first time in our history. And for the SKD Stadium itself, it hosted the largest ever audience since its construction. The mood was electric and the static, peaceful and harmonious. Mr. Speaker, I have played in many stadiums. I have been applauded by many fans during the days of my professional football career. But nothing compares to that day at the SKD Stadium. I will live with those memories for the rest of my life. The people, the stadium, and the oath, and my promises. And then, Mr. Speaker, the cheering and the dancing and the celebration came to an end. And we had to begin the work of the people and commence a serious business of governance. Our first task was to formalize my promises into a national development plan that will guide and lead us to fulfill them. We developed that plan, now known as the Proco Agenda for Prosperity and Development. And 4 years ago, we began the journey to raise our country to a new level of prosperity and development. The goals and objectives of the PAPD are to give power to our people through better education, healthcare, create stronger possibility for our young people, especially for the girls and women, to transform our economy and to continue to build critical roads and electricity infrastructure, to protect our peace and to strengthen national security in the wake of the departure of the United Nations peacekeeping troops, to intensify the fight against corruption and to improve the quality of our governance among others. I am proud and pleased to inform you today, Mr. Speaker, that 4 years from where we started, this Proco agenda remains actively on course. Our fellow citizens, it has not been all smooth sailing. And indeed, we never expected it to be. We were challenged to seek high office because of the serious and seemingly entrenched nature of the governance and social economic problems of this country that were very obvious to everyone. And we were further challenged by the opportunity that you are giving us to address the eventual subject. Surely, we face some major challenges in the last 4 years, but as a government, as a people, we have emerged stronger. The challenges may have tried to derail and distract us, but they did not prevent us from continuing the work of the national development. Today, 4 years on, we continue to protect the peace and security of our people, to build more roads, transform electricity, build new hospitals, and improve the quality of care, transform the challenging situation in education, build more markets for our market women around the country, and work towards improving governance and accountability for public resources. While the challenges are many, our recent macroeconomic crisis and the current COVID-19 crisis have taught us that when we are united, we can solve any problem. And of the firm conviction that no development challenge is too big to solve when the people combine their energies, challenge the resources in solving them. We came together as a people to end the deadly civil war and to overcome its effects. We came together to solve Ebola. We came together to stabilize our recent macroeconomic problems. And we are together fighting COVID-19. We can do and achieve anything once we set our minds to it. That is who we are as Liberians. So let us not let politics divide us to the extent of destroying our country. In this last 10 years, let us invoke the spirit of national unity. We are commemorating the first 200 years of our nation founding. No matter how painful and difficult those first 200 years may have been, our past may be bittersweet, but with unity and oneness of purpose, our present and our future can be sweet. My fellow citizens, as we go from this place today, let us continue to walk in unity and peace. I want to thank you wholeheartedly and sincerely for maintaining the peace. Let us continue to do so, for without peace, there can be no development. In the words of Nelson Mandela, and I quote, peace is the greatest weapon for development that any person can have. It is so easy to break down and destroy. The heroes are those who make peace and build. Unquote. My fellow Liberians, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Almighty God has endowed us and blessed the Liberian people of the beautiful country. Let us embrace each other with love and let peace reign throughout our land. From the heights of Ologisi to the peak of Manimba, let peace reign. From the slopes of Tutu Mountain to the top of Mangibi, let peace reign. From the golden sunset of Roti to the savannah of Bendu, let peace reign. From the sunset beaches of Rambasa to the golden beaches of Roses, let peace reign. From Cape Palmas to Cape Town, let peace reign. From the very forest of Babalu to the sacred forest of Sando, let peace reign. From the good lake of Bomi to the Batawi Falls of Bomi, let peace reign. From the Providence Island of Mosurado, let peace reign. God bless Nigeria. God bless you all. Thank you.
Who's that?
We got it anyway. You gotta clap on Auntie.
Okay, that speech,
So,
almost 3 hours.
so
by the
that would be.
We're gonna make our way.
So that would be the end of the speech, the president's speech. I want to take this time to welcome each and every one of you once again. I want to encourage you to go ahead and share the show. Today is a big day in Liberia. That is the custom of Liberia, and in many other developing nations, where when it is at the end of the year, the president comes on and gives a State of Nation address. In America, here it is called the State of Union address because the United States comprised of states, different states. So combined together, that makes the union. So it is called the State of Union address. But in Liberia, it is one nation. So it is called State of Nation address. That was just carried on by the president of the Republic of Liberia, President George Manneh Weah. As usual, whenever that happens, we always come on the show to analyze the speech and also get the people's reaction as to what is your takeaway from the speech and how well the speech was received by the people and how well it's going to change the narrative of the Liberian politics. So, Steve, I want to say good morning and good afternoon to all our people. Good morning everywhere. Where it is in the morning, good evening. When it is in the evening at your end. And good afternoon in the United States. Of course, good morning from here in Phoenix, Arizona. How are you doing, sir? You are muted.
Good morning, Mr. Cannon. Good morning to Liberians all around the world. Those in the diaspora, especially those back home. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. I want to welcome you today to SKTV for another edition. As always, we want to reference the Liberian people. They're the most important people on earth. This level of tolerance alone shows that you are very important. Just the level of tolerance, very, very important people. Also, we want to reference the Liberian women as the most beautiful women on earth. That we will not stop saying because we know it's truth, as evidenced by the way you look. Most of the times, you look like your mother. So yes, Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. Yes, Mr. Kane, a lot to uncover today. Today is January 24th, 2022. A lot to uncover. As you heard, We say in America, from the house's mouth, the president has spoken. It's part of the tradition or the culture in Liberia. On this day, I think the third Monday, constitutionally, the president has to address the legislature, and some would say the nation at large. So we are here today. That's why you heard the president saying some of the things he said. So yes, a lot to uncover. Apart from the president's speech, there are other things that would have to uncover here. Very interesting speech. Very, very interesting speech. Mixed reactions. Very interesting speech, to be very honest. I'm very it's the speech in itself is concerning, to be very honest. But we'll dive into it. We'll talk about it. It is, there are some things you can do to be able to predict some things. You don't necessarily have to be a prophet or a man of God or a religious person. You just have to pay attention to pattern, trends, especially in behaviors and things. And you might be able to tell some things. So the speech was long. That's one of the, first of all, take away if the speech was long. While we were watching the speech or listening, I've been getting a lot of feedback from people, that it's boring because it's long. But also the question becomes, will the opposition respond? If the opposition will respond, which part of the opposition and who will respond? Who will provide a rebuttal? Last year we saw when the CPP had won the elections, December 2020, we saw there was an immediate rebuttal. So this year, are we going to have different rebuttals, whether from the CPP, Black, from the political parties, and so forth? We look forward to the rebuttal, and how soon are they going to do it? Are they going to wait for days, weeks before they can do it? So we look forward to that. But yes, a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss, just a lot. One thing I will say though.
I was trying to change the caption to analyzing the president's speech, also open mic.
The caption, yeah.
We are doing everything. I'm trying to change the caption to make it to capture what we are going to be doing here today. So it's important. Yeah. So you may continue.
Not necessarily the speech, but just from the past 3 to 4 years, I've realized and I've noticed that the president is emboldened. He is emboldened not only to lie to the Liberian people, but he has extended it internationally now. He feels very emboldened, and that's very troubling. That is very troubling. It's one thing for a leader to tell a lie behind closed doors, which is still a lie, but it's another thing for a leader to come in public and lie. It is another thing, especially the head of a country. Does that mean that we Liberians, we are liars by nature, or we just choose to lie when we want to lie? That's very concerning for me. But on another front, Mr. Kane, just before we come to the speech, we have been following the international news. Interestingly, what are some of our things we found in our research? Why COVID is widely discussed. The president of Russia, Putin, is creating some serious noise with the invasion, with the purported or alleged trying to invade another nation. In the US and NATO, other European countries, they are seriously forming a team and a group to ensure that this does not happen. So that's something that we're keeping a close eye on, because this could spark something very serious globally, very, very serious. So we're keeping a close eye on it. But another thing, again, we're also keeping a close eye on the United States of America. And this tie into the point I just made. And I will give a quick advice to politicians, those in power or in some kind of important position. President Donald Trump, his daughter has been invited, Ivanka Trump. Ivanka Trump, as we all may be aware, is, I think, maybe his favorite child. However, he exposed his daughter. He exposed his daughter to crimes in the United States. And this is what I love about the Democrats of the United States. You think you can misbehave or you can commit crime, they will look for you. They will hold you accountable. I think a year or two ago, I wrote on my Facebook page that President Donald Trump will be held accountable. Will Liberia hold people who do wrong accountable? So today, President Donald Trump wrote, he's very perplexed, he's confused. He didn't see this coming, how fast it is. His daughter was invited to speak to the January 6th committee. Now, this January 6th committee has been issuing subpoena all around, ensuring that people who knew about this January 6th are held accountable, Mr. Kane. Everybody who played role in the January 6th quote-unquote coup, or trying to stop the democratic process of this country moving forward, are held accountable. So Rudy Giuliani and other people have been issued subpoena. Now, President Donald Trump is very, very confused. He said it is unfair how his children are being treated. Now, this brings me to my point to politicians. I said this here, and I use Benedict Ure as a yardstick. Do not expose your children to these things. They have repercussions. Your children have life to live after you are done. When you are done with your political life, they have a life to live. You can't be 60, 70 years old and be exposing your children to these things. When your child is 20, 30, they have a whole life ahead of them. So today, President Donald Trump's daughter is in a serious quagmire, whether she will testify against her father. and part of the reason she's also called in is because they have the transcript. So this is a big trap set for her. They have the transcript from other witnesses. If she comes there and lies, guess what? She lied on the oath. That is a crime. You cannot lie to Congress. So you see it. So they set a trap. That's a trap. So either way she looks at it, the fact that she's in the middle of this, and also to children, especially those of you who are of age, who are adults, please don't follow the suits of your parents. When they are trying to get you involved with that nonsense, tell them, no, I don't want to be part of this because it will affect my future and my life. Please don't get involved. I know the money will be sweet. I know the, luxury life, living that free enjoyment, flying. But listen, it comes with a price. Because when you are exposed, and I'm hoping and praying, like Councillor Verdia said yesterday, I'm hoping and praying, whoever takes over Liberia next should please do the right thing. Ensure that these guys are held accountable. This is how we set standards. But yeah, so on the international news, President Donald Trump's situation, you can handle as we speak. It's tough. It getting serious. The screws are being tied. So we're watching them internationally and seeing what's happening. We're seeing what's happening, and it's getting really, really tight for President Donald Trump, the former President Donald Trump. I'm not sure what it is. He has 3 different suits, 3 different things that he has to face. He has the one in Georgia, where he called the people responsible for the elections in Georgia trying to push them. So you see, the things that he did a few years ago, people are holding accountable. I hope and pray President George Weah, since he refused to hold President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and other accountable, will be held accountable some way, somehow. I hope and pray we can get some kind of leader that will muster the courage. Not necessarily, this is not a witch hunt. Joe Biden is not witch hunting Donald Trump. This is part of accountability and transparency. I hope we have a president or we have a leader that will muster the courage to do that.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Thank you very, very much. I like the international part of it, and that is even way deeper than we can imagine. And the concern over Russia attempt to invade Ukraine is also important. But today I want to really focus a little more on Liberia. And the reason is very simple. You know, the president just gave his nation's address. And this is not for nothing.
Yes.
Whether it's the United States or Liberia or anywhere around the world, when the president speaks, especially addressing the nation, they are doing it for the most part 3 reasons. First, to report to the people, to give an honest and clear picture, state of the nation, the condition of the country, his way of governing. Like showing the report card to the people.
Right.
That's the first thing. Second thing, to restore people's confidence. Area that you're doubting, things that you don't understand, give you a clear picture of those things so that you can trust the government again to build themselves. President can do that to build themselves, to breach, that level of confidence with the people, so that people can look at you as their leader, who is working for them who is working on their behalf, and who they can trust again when it comes to the direction of the country. First, to report. Second, to restore confidence. And thirdly, to predict the future, to give hope to the people, to tell the people, to show up a clear picture of what they're about to see, or what they will see in the coming years. So for those of you who listen to President Weah, I don't know what are your takeaways. I don't know if anything you learned at all, or was this the same old, or there were some new things. Also, you ask yourself, is this what you expected? Or if not, did the president's speech move or change at all? Are you hopeful now than before? Are you seeing a brighter future? That is a question we should be asking ourselves. The president talked about the promises that he made. One of them was to keep the peace. Now you ask yourself, is it the president and the government are keeping the peace? Or is it the people? You can say the president is the one keeping the peace if the ordinary people in the opposition were the one creating problems, were the one creating unconducive environment that could spark violence. And then the president, and then if the government doing otherwise, then you can say the president is keeping the peace. But for the past 3 years or more, from time to time, we have seen the government, in fact, government agencies, government lawyers, government securities are the one threatening the peace of the country. So how is the president and the government maintaining the peace in the country? You must ask yourself that. Everything that happened or everything that is going on in Liberia are recipes of violence. If not because Liberians are tired of war, if not because Liberians are afraid of war, if not because of the memory of the 14-year civil war, a lot have happened that could degenerate into something different. But the people, for the love of their country, people have tried. Even though the government is not helping in the situation, in any situation for that matter, but the people have tried to maintain peace. Even though their right have been tampered with, even though when the government is not doing anything to maintain peace, but the people actually are the one that I would give credit to for keeping peace in the country. But again, there were a lot of things said by the president. A lot of people were listening. But on top of the whole speech, Steve, do you think the president address today change or will change anything in terms of the mindset of the Liberian people? Because coming to today's speech, many Liberians believe that John Weah have failed the country, that John Weah is inept, that John Weah has nothing to provide to the Liberian people in terms of leadership, in terms of governance. But would his speech today change anything in terms of the mindset of the Liberian people, based on what you listen to?
Not necessarily. I think in all honesty, I think the president's speech, in summary, especially the very last part where he spoke about unity, is a total contradiction. And it's foolery. It's foolery. Because it's one thing for somebody to write something for you to come and just read it. But it's another thing for us to see the actual action being effectuated so that people can benefit and see it. Now, peace is not just a word. It's an experience. It's also an experience. You can't tell me, Mr. Kane, Steve, let's be peaceful, but you are slapping me.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Those are contradictions. And part of the reasons the president stressed on peace is this whole bicentennial. Because they have a temporary mindset where they think they have to appeal or do certain things temporarily, not necessarily something that is authentic that they want to do to benefit people or to benefit the nation. Take, for example, when elections are coming, then they say it's seditions day, or let's celebrate the militants when elections are coming. They say let's celebrate the militant and get them have the coke to the headquarters because elections are coming. They want to get attention. Because of this biased tenure, that's why you see the president saying that. And I say this to say it can be proven by facts, as evidenced by Brendan Samoka. His case is still in court. It's been a year and a few months now. This is problematic. The president is not maintaining no peace. He takes no credit for peace in Liberia. It is the Liberian people, like I said earlier, that have been tolerant enough. Yeah. This is ridiculous. It's the Liberian people that have been tolerant enough. They have been the ones to go without food, no peace in a country when you are witch hunting people.
And not even allowed to peaceably, assemble.
Exactly. Yes. Most recently, we saw them tear gassing, members of the oppositions or people who support Mr. Cummings. We saw it, and this is not the first time it's happening.
That was part of serious riot.
That was part of serious riot in the country.
Yeah,
it could.
So that's not. You don't call that maintaining peace.
You're not even providing an environment to be peaceful. You are not. Not only that, Mr. Kane, people, the three missing boys or men, where are they today? Where's the report? When the families came out and cried, where's the report? Where's the report? What's going on with them? The police comes and lie. Children are missing. Most recently, we heard from your police director, Patrick Suru, who came on air and said, when the ritualistic killings were going on, he said, are you being responsible enough? You said nothing. You did nothing. But the president's IG, Patrick Suru came out and said, well, the opposition there taking body from the mortuary and other places and bringing it in the street. Like something is wrong with someone making these kind of statements. So yes, Mr. Kane, the president lied. Like I said yesterday, the president's speech, I said yesterday, will be predicted in 3 ways. Number 1, the president would lie. Number 2, the president would make excuses or blame other people. And number 3, the biggest part of it, I said, the president would make promises that he cannot keep. And these are just the 3 categories the president's speech fell in. So to be very honest with you, I know people say, oh, what the president high moment and what the president low moment. Let me tell you something. For me, the president was a serious liar, and he is not serious. He is not serious. Look, these guys think this is a joke, and their supporters think this is a joke. This is not a joke. This is not a temporary thing. When we say it, you want to get vexed, you'll get vexed, no problem. But the fact must be said. There was nothing encouraging into this thing. It was a bunch of lies, even about the safe homes that he talked about, that they're providing safe homes to rescue them. That is a blatant lie. That is a blatant lie. And we cannot afford.
How is that a lie? I want you to clarify for the people.
So in all honesty, as we speak now, I work with the SGBV group. How do you create a safe home when you say you're creating a safe home? Most recently, the increase of those we call Zogos or the young people is on the rise. When you talk about creating safe homes for these people, the question is, where are these safe homes? Where? Charlie and I work as a board member on an SGBV group. Guess what happened? We are still complaining and still looking forward for the government to even help with safe homes. So where are these safe homes? Where are they? He talked about the kind of meat for the young people. Well, let me give you the highlight of the kind of meat. He was a water. And for the young people, you have a 50-some years old man who was playing the young people's. So where in this thing you are motivating the young people? Where? Where in this thing you are motivating the young people? They politicize the whole content meat. The entire content meat. They politicize it. You got politicians that running around doing all kind of things to ensure that either the content win or the content there for at that time. So where are these safe homes? Where? Most recently, Mr. Kane, his IG, the same Patrick Suru guy, talking about cracking down or declaring war on Zogos.
And
So this
Um,
does not make any sense.
so Steve, one of the concerns that I have a lot of concerns, but one of the concern that I have on this speech today is that the president, after I think 3 years now, this is fourth um, nation's address, if I'm right. The the speech, the speech writer, still now learning, was very, very long. Secondly, the president is still struggling to read. That is very shameful. I'm just being honest. I like the president, but he's not doing enough to improve himself. I mean, for God's sake, this is the president of our nation. He represents all of us. It is shameful that the people, they are not smart enough to minimize the speech to his level, and he is also not smart enough to understand his own level as to what kind of speech to give. Reduce the speech, minimize it to your own understanding, and speak as a president. Speak like a president. The president's speech was kind of boring and disjointed. Disjointed in a sense, things were not connecting. You know, when you give a speech, let's forget about the national address. If you give a speech, you are giving speech first to communicate a message. You are giving message. If the speech is disjointed in like it was, people will not understand, they will not connect. Thirdly, the noise in there, some people will say is a tradition, but it is very much distracting. The stupid noise. Even in America here, when the president gives speech, people clap. But for how long? They will wait. But the horn, in fact, even taking away your attention from the speech. In the middle of the president's comment, one word to another, they will blow horn. I mean, some people say it's tradition, but it's not. Those are not. It's not necessary anymore. Other world leaders are listening. Other people who are not accustomed to that, your whatever you call it, tradition, they are listening. They want to know. They want to understand what the president is saying. They want to understand the state of affairs of your country. They want to know whether you need help. They want to know whether the help they are giving you, whether you are making progress. They want to understand it. The people are already struggling to understand what you say, and then you are getting more noise, be more noisy. It is shameful. It is shameful, to be honest. Our people need to graduate from these things, Steve. I've said this over and over and over, that when politicians are speaking, especially a president is speaking, give people the chance to listen, to understand exactly what he's saying. The man himself, let me tell you something, the man himself is there to improve when it comes to reading. You know, when you say we, all the we he was saying, at least when you capture the first letter of the phrase, right? The man does not know what comes next. Just read it. I mean, just listen to it. It is embarrassing. It's okay for Sekou to do whatever he wants to do, speak whatever way he wants to. It's okay for Steve to do or speak the way he wants to. But the president of the nation, when he's speaking, the entire world watches. Everybody watching you. And for the president to go 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and still not, no improvement, that is shameful. To be honest, I got serious problem with that. Because you know what? When we go to places, we present ourselves as Liberians. And other people look up Liberia. They want to know where is Liberia? Who are Liberians? When they go to listen to your president speaking in the way our president speaks, it's shameful. He needs to improve. Let's forget about what kind of degree he gets, what degree doesn't he have. That's fine. Just improve the way you talk. As a matter of fact, if you know this man is not very good at reading, shorten the speech, pick up some bullet points, and allow him to freestyle. So that way you can't bang your head down 24/7 and reading so disjointedly that nobody capture whatever he's saying. That's not good. This is the president of our country, Steve. Besides that, the content of the speech, if it's filled with falsehood, misleading informations, then that's a problem. But still, I want to ask you, the people in that chamber, are they bunch of I don't know, cheering squad, or they were just, or this is like a speech to the nation where the Congress or our legislature will sit and listen and take something away from the president's speech? Why is it meant for Liberia? I think for other countries it's meant for communication, giving message to the people, reporting to legislature and the people of the country, so they can take something from there, understand the past, get hope for the future. But what do we get out of this? With this kind of noise and cheering that's going on with nonstop.
Well, first of all, the last time I heard Vuvuzela, which is that thing that it be blowing just like something wrong with people that create lots of noise. The last time I heard Vuvuzela was to the World Cup in 2010, when Spain won the World Cup in South Africa. That's the last time I really heard Vuvuzela. Most countries in Africa have gone away from, they try to go away from it as much as possible. Yes, I have to agree with you that when you're having these kind of big addresses where you're addressing the word, your nation and the word at large, people are listening. Partners are listening. Some of them can barely, like you said, some of them can barely hear, can barely understand, either because of the accent or so forth. They can barely understand you. You want to minimize the noise as much as possible. But most of these guys that you see over there and women that you see over there, I have a crafted terminology for them. They're a bunch of unrepentant, sycophantic, stupid people that will never change, because at their age, if they can still be singing, nothing is left for them. Imagine, God forbid, all you have to show off to your children is that you were behind the president and singing. Just imagine that is your accomplishment for your entire life. After 6 years when President Weah leaves, when your child or your children ask you, say, Mr. Kane, God forbid. So you used to be behind the president.
Yeah,
Why
or just clapping for the president.
your contribution?
Or just
And you tell them this is what it is. So these are unrepented sycophants who are engulfed into stupidity, and they will never change. Look, as a matter of fact, they have made sycophants their career. They will watch out for the next president. They will carry that there as part of their resume. This is embarrassing. This is very embarrassing when you say these things. Oh, you hate the government and you hate these people. Grown men and women should behave themselves. Look, Mr. Kane, let me say this. There were a lot of redundancy in his speech, but it is shameful. Look, if I were there and I were part of the Senate or the House of Representatives, I would have walked out of that place. This is not a representation of our country in the 21st century. Again, when you have a president deliberately comes to the word and lies about things that can be fact-checked, things that can be proven that he is lying, and people are there cheering him on, and they're happy, and they think that he's making some kind of headways.
So why is it that our people kind of satisfy or try to say it's okay to whatever or this president, is doing, and anytime the president speaks, they say it's okay, or they may try. For God's sake, this man is the president of the nation. Should we be relying on try and error for our president, expecting lowering our expectation, lowering the bar, that the president, oh yeah, he tried?
Well, Mr. Kane.
So why people can settle for little? What's going on with that? Why make people to be settling for little things? Say it's okay.
Mr. Kane, let me tell you something. These people, anybody can say whatever they want to say about me today. These people have no hope, no standard, no moral. So that's what they're limited to. All they're limited to is begging for breadcrumbs. That's why they, at their ages, they're still, instead of holding the president accountable and setting the bar high, they've lowered the bar. They've lowered the bar to the point where anything can pass, anything can happen, and it is acceptable in our country at this time. You know what? What hurts me the most is we are in the 21st century, in the age of technology, where people can advance themselves. When you hear other leaders speaking, Mr. Kane, it's okay for the president to lay out things that he did not accomplish and just be realistic, factual about it, so that we can come and say, yes, finally. But these people, they live in utopia. They have no sense of reality. They will not have any sense of reality. For them, anything the president says goes, whether it is true or it is lie. So that's where we are. And when we come out to hold the president accountable or hold other leaders accountable, guess what happens? They say we hate the president. We hate the government. We're against the government. We're against this. Watch what the president said today. Watch the promises he made today. Right after today, they will revert to something totally different from what was said. So again, no hope, no expectation. Look, no hope. No hope.
One of our colleagues, our friend,
very sad.
Sarah just said that there was no bar for this guy. I understand that. But then there must be a bar for the country. We cannot continue to lower the bar to the extent where, other people will look at us as a laughing stock, a bunch of foolish people that don't know what they are doing. The little minds that will come on here and insult and disrespect or been through, jab or engage in trouble, bigotry, those are nothing. For me, I've said this before, the more you attack me personally, the more I got engaged. The more you attack me, the more you try to, get under my skin, that the more you're making me, you're encouraging me to talk more. what you can do, and something that I'm yet to see, is to realize your mistake, your own shortcoming, as opposed to blaming people for your shortcoming. Understand your little limitation, understand your lapses, and then think as to how you can improve. If you support somebody and they are doing very little, and you settle for that, they will continue to do less. But if you're supporting somebody and they are not living up to your expectation, you point to their flaws, to their mistakes, inform them of their shortcomings so they can change and do better. But if you yourself, who supposed to hold somebody accountable, but if you are yet to understand your own limit, then you have a problem. Our country, Liberia, deserves better. Put politics aside. Forget about which party you belong to. Forget about political parties. Forget about which tribe you come from. Forget about the counties. Think about Liberia. If this president, Obama, Barack Obama, like him or hate him, Barack Obama was not only an eloquent speaker, he's not only an eloquent speaker, but very inspirational speaker. When he speaks, it resonates with people. When he speaks, you understand it for the first time. Even some of those leaders that are now eloquent speakers, but at least they take their time to communicate. Every time they speak, they will go out, they will go back and listen to them and then fix areas that they don't do well. But some of you sycophants will only say, yay, clap, even though you know that the man is not doing well. You're not helping him, and you're not helping the country. So, Steve, what I wanted to do, I want to open the line early today so we can get our people's perspective as to what they get from the speech. And since, in fact, this is open mic, let's give people the opportunity to talk. But I'm ashamed that many Liberians will just settle for less. Is it because they themselves not correct up there or what? What's going on?
Mr. Cannon.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Most times when I come on these public forums, because of legal issues, to avoid any kind of lawsuit or so forth, you don't pass around and try to diagnose people or place any kind of diagnosis on them. But the behavior of some Liberians will not change. Again, let me be clear, it will not change. It's not only the combination of, from what I'm seeing, of mental problem, sometimes even substance induced, which means some of them come there already high. They're either intoxicated or so forth. So most of the time what they're doing is not in terms of reality, so they're incoherent. So they are abnormal at their ages. Because if you will sit there, somebody lie to you and you clap for that person, we don't need to diagnose you. Somebody lying to you and you are sitting right there and you know the truth and you are grown, you are mature, but you sit and clap for that same person. It's not only mental health issue, But it also has to do with substance induced. So most of the people go there, they already high. Imagine, just imagine, Mr. Kane. Imagine somebody recruiting you for $10 US, $25 US, and they take you there, and your only response should be, Mr. Kane, when the president said this thing, just clap or just cheer, and you sit there. Your only notion, the only thing at the back of your mind, I have to feed my children, so I would do that for the $10. So what you are doing, in essence, you are enabling that person to continue to enslave you. Because after that $10 is finished, guess what you have to wait for? You have to wait for the next State of the Nation address in 2023. So that means that the time that person will be taking care of you the whole year, they will not take care of you. So guess what? You are just used, dumped, and then move on to the next thing. The next time they're ready for you again is when some kind of election coming around. Then you will see Rescue Mother. You'll see Rescue Mother. You will see Tifa. You will see Sir Joseph. And you'll see all these people passing around and making fool out of you. So let me tell you something, Mr. Kane. At this point, at this stage, to be very honest with you, the grown Liberian men and women who are adults are the ones masquerading and making fool of themselves. I got a call, sir, even as you open the line, I got a call. We can't hear you, Mr. Kane, you are muted. Say again. I got a caller here.
Yeah, we have a call here earlier. So let's just take the first call, then we'll take that person. Let the person
Okay,
go
sure,
first.
most definitely. Let's do that, please.
All right, caller, what is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Kari, and I'm calling from Texas.
Hey, Kadi, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I was going to tell you that you should know that the president has HGSD program, because people with that program, they don't focus. I mean, you should understand this. So, and then it's so embarrassing to say I'm a Liberian, because what I hear today was so low class. You know, I expect better, even though he's not doing much for the country. But you know, makes sense. Everything I hear today was just rubbish. Everything you guys was talking today, I agree with you. I was keep saying, yes, I agree with this. I agree with this. I agree with this. It was so embarrassing because it make us feel like we don't have no educated people in Liberia at all. Whosoever that wrote that speech for that president, they're supposed to prepare that speech for, they say 3 months for the man to study it. The man better can't say a word that people will understand. You know? Is that what you call president? We sorry to say, Joey, I gotta go. Y'all please do better, Liberians. Y'all please. We understand that you guys back home, you're struggling, you're confused, and some of them don't have education because of the war. We know that you guys have never traveled in the diaspora. We know that you guys are not exposed. But y'all please try to listen to us here. We're here to teach you guys more. Y'all listen to us and try to take Joe Weah from there, 2023. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your contribution. So, folks, I'm going to pin the number. Go ahead, take your call.
Yeah, Mr. Kane, just before we bring this caller in, the previous caller, just before we bring this caller in, the previous caller spoke of ADHD. I wouldn't again, I wouldn't lay any label, but just to point out something about ADHD. Most of the times it's found in young people. So you will see that they're very hyperactive. They get their attention span is very, because of that level of testosterone, especially in men. But here's the bigger picture I want to say about that ADHD thing. It's critically important that we don't rush into saying, yes, the person might demonstrate or exhibit certain signs of ADHD, but it has to be really, really watched and studied at some point to actually come about. Again, at the system's point, so we have to respect it. But let's go to the next caller. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from, please?
It's Cyrus, President Mong, as usual, from the Twin City.
Well, Cyrus, welcome to the show.
What's up, guys? What's going on?
Yes, welcome. I mean, what's your take?
Well, my take, I want to throw a light on that whole Front Page Africa article concerning Joseph Boaga Yuri Kanga taking a stand, but the president still the union address, I think it overshadowed the days. I mean, so that's what I'm going to talk about.
You can go there. You can go there. But hold on 1 second. Hold on.
You can talk about anything you want to talk about.
Hold on 1 second, caller. Hold on, please. You'll be on hold, caller.
Yeah, so let's tell the
go ahead.
people, when you call and your call is answered, just hold the line until
You know,
yeah, go
I
ahead.
will talk about the state of the union, but the whole sycophantic nature of the Liberian people. You know, one of the person, I don't know whether he was a prophet, peace be to his artist, the late Mamadi Diakite. Mamadi Diakite saw this day coming. Every time on that guy show, I can remember on that morning breakfast show. The guy said, this guy presidency will put the biggest risk of Liberia progress because the sycophancy, they hold praise and worship. It means there will be no bar. You said they lower the bar. No, for Georgia, there is no bar. There's a difference between having a lower bar. Let's just assume that I'm giving you a test in mathematics and I expect to make 180 makes every day. You lower the bar. For Georgia, there is no bar. That's why Georgia administration don't have a coherent policy to change anything in that country. You build one market here, you build one little road here, you put some solar panel there, and that's all. It's not coherent. It's not a public policy. It doesn't affect or have an impact on the overall country. It's just messing one in here because he assumed that the people who are supposed to be educated are even dumber than the one that never have formal education. That's why I told people, based on the reality, the possibility of us getting the best president or the right person is almost impossible, except by mistake. It will never happen. Because here's the thing. If you want to make the argument that our people in Liberia are not exposed, they haven't seen any good thing, or they haven't traveled to other countries to see how other countries are moving faster, then at least you must pay attention to people who are in the diaspora, people who got traveling experiences, people who went to other countries and be like, oh, we've been wasting time in this country. There are a lot of things that we cannot do it right. But here is the thing. It's almost like a friction between the people in the diaspora and the people who are local.
I agree.
So then, how do you impact the people who are on ground or the uneducated? How do you do that? It's impossible, bro. And let me tell you something, look. People looking at no major investment come to the country. The cost of living keeps skyrocketing, mysterious debt. These guys went and cooked a budget. They knew that it's not even realistic. And people, they're coming for this man. It's the same thing you see every Sunday morning. You look at a man who womanize, who smoke, who drink, smoke weed, Jamaican resort, and people got an infantry to go into his church to listen to him preach. Bro, our country, I don't know, man. I don't see any solution for that country right now.
Yeah, you said you
don't want to give up, but you look at the reality, there is no way out. Like it's beyond repairable how it look like. Because this thing will keep happening. And yes, the scary part of this thing. These guys have unlimited resources. They understand the mindset of our people.
Right.
They live in poverty. It's a business model. When you want to keep people in perpetual poverty, you keep making them poorer and poorer. That way they look up to you for survival. That's what's happening. So every little thing that the guy does is big for them. How can you say that man is doing better after 4 years? I mean, which sector in the country, geopolitically or social economically, you can point to say, yeah, Liberia is making progress in this particular department. Look, I keep telling folks, you can hate the Madam Sally administration all you want, but you cannot just ignore reality. Madam Sally, I don't like to play quarterback for the United Party administration, but we all know when a professional is doing a job versus an amateur.
Yeah.
Look, listen to whom the Bible said to whom much is given, much is expected. Madam Sally gave a high expectation. Yeah, she got her own lapses, but we all knew what the Madam Sally government was able to achieve in the first 6 years. Whether it was a debt waiver, whether it was, we all knew Liberia came from war. When Liberia came from war, it didn't stop there. We had a government that will honor 6 years of sanction, making our economic situation even dire. Look, the national budget when Madam Sally took office was less than 18 million. Madam Sally took that budget from 80 to 670 million in the first 6 years. That's an established fact. We had a HIPAA initiative with a debt burden of $4 billion. And she never had from the two administration all the way dating back to, I don't know whether Joseph Jigen Rawa, because I just cannot see.
Let's have a focus on that and speak on the whatever you want to talk about. So
yeah, so you wanted to please close on the Yombly and Bwaka stuff that you mentioned in a minute, please. Go ahead.
The only thing I want to see, They say politics makes speech bedfellow, and I never want this thought that Joseph Father will be a material witness for the government. But you know when I read the article, one thing it says that they say is again like broad jurisprudence that a defendant cannot produce an evidence against himself or herself. So I just don't know the role that Bernard Yuri and Young Kanga are going to be playing in this whole quagmire. That's what I just want to see. Because for a man who said he was 100% committed to see to it that the CPP hope to be on the side of the government is what I want to know. And here's the funny thing, about the whole document is, let me just make it brief and succinct. The one thing here is they are saying Commies have the original document. So I keep asking two questions. If Commies have the original document, how Bernard Yuri make the discovery? Because you should have the original document to compare it against the one that was filed at the NEC.
Most definitely.
If you cannot come up with that, then it means the document at the NEC can only be the original document.
Right.
But like I keep telling you, when you
All
talk
right.
about this, you got to
All right, now, thank you.
Yeah, I got another caller on the other line, Mr. Carl,
Yeah, hold
please.
on. Yeah, another person hold. Just a second.
Thank you, Cyrus. Hold
All
on,
right.
hold on one second.
Oh yeah, another person hold. 1 second. Call out 763 number. The last 4 DJ is for 42,000. What is your name? Hello. Yeah, caller. What is your name and where you calling from?
Isaac Tucker calling from Andover, Minnesota.
Azo Tucker, quickly, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for this analysis that's going on. We need more of this in our sphere. First, I just wanted to say that you listed 3 points, you know, when you were in your intro. But the one I want to stress on is when you're talking about restoring confidence.
Yeah.
Yes, that was his aim, to restore confidence. And you know, in our society in Liberia, the vast majority of our people are not conscientized. They're not paying attention to these programs on air and things. And they depend on the other side to buttress or to counteract these things, these falsehood that is coming up from the government. You know, so it is beholden on guys like you who are doing a good job, okay, in showing the contrast and the lies that are coming out. But sometimes it is disheartening. Let me take, for example, the president of prison education, okay? And one of the sister network on the last year, at the end of the year, they were grading the president and giving him 80 out, especially on Spoon Network. They were giving 80 and 90 for education. And their analysis was 2,000 people passed the national exam. I wonder how they did the assessment because 40,000 students took the national exam. 2,000 passed, not in all subjects, now 2,000 passed in few of the subjects, okay? That's just 5% that made it. And they made it like, oh, we gave the man 80% because of the national exam. So I tried to call him to ask them, where were the statistics, okay? And out of the 80%, 19 passed, and of the 5 passed all 5 subjects, out of 40,000. I think you should give individual credits. It is simple to generalize it as an improvement. So what I'm saying is, while the president is lying to the people, where the people run for actual information, they are also getting misinformation or they are also getting misleading information. So not everybody has the ability to listen to what we call y'all on a CNN, y'all on a Fox News, y'all on a MSNBC. And we appreciate y'all, but I just want to say that sometimes they should try. Because I agree with you, I can't like I'll give other people a chance because we'll be saying to all the students the speech was full of falsehood and things. But how are these things counteracted? It's also creating a problem for the people. Where then will they run to get their information? Thank you, Sekou.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, Steve, take that caller. I have a lot of callers on here, so go ahead and take that call, and then we'll take the next caller. You're muted, Steve.
Yes, caller, what's your name? Are you calling from, please?
Yeah, hi, this is Munir Kishan, aka the General. How are you guys doing today?
Oh, welcome, Munir. We're doing very well.
Yeah, I listened to the speech. You know, it's shameful and I'm downhearted. One, there were a lot of lies in the speech. Two, there were a lot of cherry squad that nobody could understand. If you want to understand what he was reading, you got to look at the copy and read it for yourself, then you'll understand what's in that speech. But I bet you right now, if you bring them on your show and ask them what the president said today, they would explain it different way to make it look fun. And my people, I don't know why the people continue to do this thing to Liberia. Everything is about George Weah, is about George Weah, is about George Weah. As if we don't have nobody working in the government. Now the president said that tomorrow they will be at the stadium, divide things to the county, my people, for God's sake. Is this president the procurement man for Liberia now? That he's going to distribute 10 motorbikes and pick up to every county? Is that an achievement there? This president telling us about market, telling us about this. Like, I don't want to bottle. I'm going to bottle the guy, the one he gets up at the school. My nephew, he does the national exam in Liberia. His last name is Nippy, my little brother's son. Why you want to take 2,000 kids class out of 40,000? You want to give the group to the president? What the government did when it comes to education? And let us start putting, but it's sad. People in there cheering, you can't even hear nothing. The whole place tends to be on market. They just proved that George Weah is the smartest, most educated citizen. So all the other people that in CDC, they are dull people.
You mean DULL?
I'm telling you.
Okay. No, I know what you meant, but I just want to make it.
One of them. How will you sit for this president to lie in front of our nation, giving us false information like you running campaign? Yes, why? That is why the government is stuck to where they are today, because they started with lies and the end with lies. That is not easy. Everything the president did is for sedition. And you will not cross no new or independent person who want to CDC to vote for him. I rather want to see, they say first food and food, second food is not a food. The American men say first food shame on you, second food shame on me. But I rather want to know 2023 if Liberians are the most stupid people on earth. 2023, we will know.
Thank you.
The speech, when you want to go and say it, read it for yourself. But if you think you're going to put your ear to that thing and listen to it, you'll be confused and you won't get nothing out of it. This president needs to rehearse. When he writes his speeches, rehearse it instead of going in a studio to go start making music. Too much time on his head. Thank you very much, guys. And you guys think directly. This is the time to get on this video to educate the people. Don't analyze his speech. Go and ask our network. They won't tell you a damn thing. Damn thing will tell for this speech.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, General.
So, all right, let's go to this caller here. Caller, the last 4 digit is 7118. Start with 507. Are you there? Caller, the last 4 digit is 7118. Are you there? Okay, let's go to the next caller here. Caller, the last 4 digit is 6870. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, my name is Cyrus and I'm calling from Iowa.
Iowa, Cyrus, how are you?
Not too bad, Sick. How you doing?
Good, quickly.
Yeah, man. You see, my owner. Yeah, this is my view about Liberians, most especially we are living in the diaspora. All we do is we criticize. We only see the wrong of our country. There is nothing wrong with criticizing, because a strong opposition is good for a good democracy. But the idea of our focus is all on the negative aspect of Liberia. There is something that we all need to understand. It's called branding. This very country, there are a lot of things that are going on in America, but the media here, they have a specific agenda for the international audience. So what are we selling to the international audience for our country? George Weah will be gone. Another president going to come. Or maybe it could be Comey, or maybe it could be Joseph Boakai, it could be anybody else. It is how we're going to brand our country. I mean, we need to do better. Because what you say about yourself, it is what people think of you. Because of the way we brand up on social media, there is a very, very bad or perception of Liberians out there. So let us come together as Liberians. Let us all support Liberia, not just the person who occupied the seat. Let us support our country, because at the end of the day, whether Georgia wins second term or not, there will be another president. But all of these vitriol, negativity, and some of you that have the bigger platform, I mean, you guys, you try to discourage people who try to, because Liberians are so negative now. They just feed on that. I mean, they're so interested in negative stuff. I mean, Joshua, yes, but he doing some good things.
All right, thank you.
Everything right, no, but he doing some good things.
Yeah. So today, since today's topic is about mostly about the speech today, what are some of the good things that you hear today from the speech, if you don't mind?
No, let's face the fact. The idea that the Liberian government is on a track of domestic revenue generation, that's a plus.
Okay.
Because, yeah, it's a plus. Because knowing Liberia is a welfare state, most of our budget, we depend on international community to budget us, to give us money in order for us to run our activities. Look, the moment you start generating your own money to budget for yourself, that's the time you have your own power.
Okay.
So that's a plus.
Okay.
We should see that as a positive. It can be explained by other economists or how the numbers came about. But the idea that we can in some way generate at least $500 and some more million domestic, call it, or domestically, is a good thing. And another thing we should pay attention to, look, Sekou, since I was in Liberia throughout the world, Eddie was there for 12 years. The high schools, the idea, people say these are all symbolic projects, but the idea of just renovating all of the government high school in Liberia is a good thing. It's a good thing. Why Eddie didn't do that? I mean, other people will explain it, so because Eddie had other things.
I want you to.
Mr. Kenneth, wait. They call it, nobody just come in and just spew lies and we'll go. When did the government renovate the high schools, my brother?
The project is ongoing.
Where? Where?
Yes.
Where?
Let's take it one at a time.
Okay.
Where, my man?
I'm
gonna get him a chance, man. Give him a chance. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Let me name a couple for you.
Okay.
Dito already went through some renovation. Tottenham already went through some renovation. So.
No, that's not true. Caller, please don't mislead. Please don't come and mislead the Liberian people. Please don't do that. We respect your view, but don't mislead the Liberian people. And we're not tolerate you coming here in public. Listen, my brother. This is not against the government, but let's be factual. We'll not have you come on here. You can go do that one other network. We don't have a problem with it. It's the right to allow you to lie on this network. But when you come here, we'll hold you accountable. You will not lie to the Liberian people here. We'll not let it slide. So let's be factual. If you don't know the truth, it's okay to say I don't know it or something is going on. That's different than you asserting. So if you cannot provide facts to that, let's move to the next thing, please.
I actually respect your platform, and I will make sure that everything I see is factual.
Okay. So my brother.
That's what I'm saying, and I will give you the facts that your audience so much desire.
Okay. Let me say this to you, right?
Yeah.
We love the fact that you come here to provide factual information, which is good. Some of the schools that you just mentioned, can you give us some facts so that we can rely on in the future? We can talk about this in the future. That yes, indeed, the president is doing X, Y, and Z, and these are the facts.
Okay, like I said, Sekou, D12 already went through some renovation, or Tottenham already went through some renovation, and as we speak now, there is an aggressive effort. Every high school, I'm not saying private school, I'm saying government school. Every high school, government school in every county around the country is going through renovation. By the end of this year,
I agree, my brother. What I'm saying, can you provide us any evidence, any piece of evidence that we can use, and to say, yes, indeed, the brother talk about it, and here are the evidence. Can you provide any?
Right, we are even if I have a hard copy evidence with you right now, on a phone, I cannot provide.
No, not right now. Right after the call, you can forward it to me.
Okay, I will do that. And another thing, let's talk about it.
No. We have other people have to come on. So just conclude.
Yeah, I got caller here too as well, please.
Just conclude. You got 30 seconds.
I would say the president make a great improvement. I say he did a very good job on the road. So we should all appreciate that.
All right, no problem. No problem. Thank you very much. So we're looking forward to those proof that you have. Okay. All right, brother. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, I have a caller here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from, please?
Hi, Steve. Hi, Seiko. This is Dee calling from Minnesota. How you both doing?
Thank you, Dee. We're doing well.
Okay. So I want to, without going in depth with this speech, I want to highlight one thing that is a national area of concern for every Liberian, okay? The educational sector has been long neglected, and this is why it's coming up. When I watched my president give the address of the nation today, I saw a man who is struggling, who at some point in his own educational matriculation, this man was undiagnosed for some kind of learning impairment, okay? Well, if we don't make this a priority, there are many countless Liberians walking throughout and that work in the various systems in Liberia, from the court to the representatives, to our senators, to in the government, that these people have undiagnosed learning disability that has to do with reading, comprehension. Under there, you got dyslexia, you got math impairment. This is an issue. We can laugh about it, but when we sit and we watch it, we who work with children, we who see, we who are trained, we know that there's a problem. When many Liberians speak or when they try to have conversations, you can clearly see those learning impairments come up. Let's make this a priority. This is a national concern. If our president can go and represent us and show that there's shortcomings in our educational system, then there needs to be concern. That was my input I had to give today. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your input. So, Mr. Okana, we can hear you. We can hear you. You are muted.
I apologize. I have another caller here.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Sherva. I'm calling from MD.
MD, go ahead. Maryland, right?
No, MD, not MD.
Oh, ND, North Dakota. I thought you said MD.
No, I said MD.
I got you. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, Liberia province is not education. Liberia province is law, visions, and dream. When you are educated, you love your country, you'll be willing to educate the 16 counties. But as long as you don't have love for your country, you will never have time to educate that country. Quentin Tabe is educated. Fanny Sherman is educated in our government. They got a lot of people that are educated in our government. But because no love, no vision, no dream. So that's how Liberia faced with today. Even the past government, they have a lot of educated people in there. Okay? The whole nation can be educated in America here. Not everybody educated, but the American got love and dream. Here today. If the American was only educated and we going to work and they don't want us to be educated, you think we'll be here? No. So the problem with Liberia is first show love to your country. The American can kill themselves for this land. I mean, Liberia will be willing to do that because no love. Nobody want cash. So the problem is not education, it's love, because those that are educated, they don't get love for the country. Today. No dream. Educated. The person must have a vision and a dream. That's the country. So that's why George Weah gave the wrong speech. If we have love for our country, you think George Weah going to be president? No way.
Yeah.
He's not qualified for the job. No law. The ones that are educated, they run behind him just to enrich themselves.
That's true. Bro, thank you.
Thank you too. I appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime.
Okay.
You have another caller?
No.
Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of me. For some reason, my other line, the one that ends with 2018. For some reason, the calls are coming, but it's coming as missed calls. I'm not getting the calls. More than 50 calls, you know, calls are not coming through. Only the other one is going through. I don't know why. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? I'm not getting the calls. More than 50 calls. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, caller, you got to tune down the monitor and listen to your phone only. You see, you need to tune down the monitor, please.
Oh, okay.
Just listen to your phone. Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. My name is Lincoln calling.
Lincoln calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir.
Actually, Harrisburg. Yeah, I'm listening to you guys. You guys' platform is very interesting. Whenever I listen to it, I feel so happy.
Thank you.
Even when I don't have something to do, I always like to follow you guys because of the analysis you guys bring up when it comes to some of these like political issues.
Thank you.
Yeah, but like the last caller just said, education means a lot. Education means a lot. Because now what I say, when you are educated, there are a lot of things that you have to do to prove to your parents or to your family or to your country that you are educated. The last caller just said it. You see, Mela Washington Tabet, Wani Shemo, Simon Freeman, those people, man, I don't know what kind of a master's degree they have, but they don't love Liberia to their heart. You myself may like Liberia, may get a love for Liberia, but we are not educated. People will got to be a fool. And education is not only to go to school and learn the big book and spell the big words and speak the big books, but doing something to develop your country, to develop the mind of the citizen, to develop your community is what they call education. You see, some of us in America today, the American board, they say they are educated. Because why? They put our education into use. They develop their country, they develop their mind of their citizen, and they make their citizen to be well known. But where is Liberia? Where is Liberian?
Yeah.
We are so poor-minded. Liberians are the wicked people ever on planet Earth. I'm telling you, brother, I'm telling you something. Liberians are the wicked people ever on planet Earth.
Wow. I would say some Liberian instead of generalizing it, but I mean that's your opinion.
Yeah, the reason I'm saying this, you can try to help one person in Liberia, that person will take you to the fool. You try another way, they will keep taking you to be a fool, all because why? They don't have the mindset to work along with you. That is the mindset we got. We are very much selfish and we don't like to see our friend coming out. So if we listen to John Weah's speech today, we may go against it. But there are something, I don't really like John Weah, but there are something that John Weah is doing in Liberia. That even if John Weah moves in power, he's not going to take that with him and go sit down to a house with him. He may be corrupt, they may do all their things.
That's true. So what is your takeaway from today's speech?
Very good. There are some things
We're not hearing you anymore.
Yeah. I said there are something that draw my mind to the speech when you call all the various counties. Let me
my man, when I give you the opportunity to talk about your good thing you heard, now we're not hearing you. For some reason, your line just breaking.
You said you gotta hear me?
I didn't hear anything you said. Why the other line just going to voicemail? I mean, missed calls. I don't know. This is crazy.
Go ahead, caller. Well, listen.
I can say hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I said when Bosco ended his speech, only about unity and about peace. That is something that's Liberian. Even if we don't want to run on that, we all listen to that.
Oh, man.
Togetherness is what we need in Liberia.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. I think we are saying that the last part of the speech where the president talked about how let peace reign from this county to the other county, from this mountain to the other mountain. That was his favorite part of the speech that he was talking about. But for some reason, for some reason, those are meant to corrupt your mind, make you think that he really is all for peace. For me personally, those speeches don't move me. What moves me is action. You can't be saying one thing and doing another thing. If the president really wants peace, they will make sure all those mysterious deaths, they will investigate it. Make sure the perpetrators are brought to book. If the president really wants peace, the president will make sure justice is blind. Justice will not be selective, wherein justice for somebody and then no justice for the other person. If the president will really want peace, trust me, they will not witch hunt politicians. You agree to open a level playing field where everybody can have their right to campaign and do whatever they want to do without being, harassed or intimidated. But no, that's not the case. So callers, you guys, when I answer your call, just stay on the line. It means that I'm taking your call. Hold on 1 second. Only one line giving me some. See, I'm gonna have to put your number up there too.
Oh no, you can't put my number there for security reason. No.
So all the people are calling you their friend, eh?
Yeah, that people who I know,
Okay, no problem. Call us. Ask for DJ 838 3890. Hello, caller. 763 number 3890. Okay. All right. So, folks, keep calling the first number. The second number, for some reason, is not going through. And then the person who is requesting a WhatsApp number, the first number there, the one that ends with 07383 is the WhatsApp number as well. You can call that. Let's get this call right here. Hello, caller. Tune down the monitor, please. 443 number, last 4 digits 3356. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I apologize for the. I know you've been trying forever. A lot of people have been calling as well, but the other number is not going through for some reason. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, no problem. I'm grateful that I'm here. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, fine. Let me first of all say thanks to myself, because today what we are experiencing here is because of some of us, our persistence and continual advocacy, that today our brother Sekou can give others the opportunity who disagree with him to be able to speak their mind.
I always do that, Prince.
This is Prince Sharif. This is Prince Sharif.
I know. I always do that. I mean, you've been on this show from 2018.
But anyway, we won't go in there. We want to say thank you. Now, this is the kind of level of development and tolerance that we are talking about, that have been infused in our democracy, that is even affecting the international scene with the different, media. I think we must commend this government own approach towards giving people the opportunity to express themselves and not be bamboozled or being, cornered by people who have a different view. So I want to say thanks to this government, that the impact this government is making in
So you're giving SKDV credit to your government? What kind of man is
to be able to, allow people to bring other people the view. But having said that, my brother, this is what I want to say, my brother Sekou. There are a lot we can take from this particular persona and run with it.
Okay.
First of all, let's look at us as a people. The president in his persona congratulated Liberians, every one of us, for the fact that we are able to be able to coexist despite of our political differences in working with government to foster development. I think that is the first applaud that we as Liberians, we must be able to give to ourselves, that we can be able to work together despite of our political differences in moving our nation, democratic tenets, and infrastructure development and etc. forward. So that is the first thing that I took from this particular SONA. And I think every one of us, despite of our party affiliation or what, we must all congratulate ourselves off. The second thing, there are a lot, and we'll be discussing on our show later. But the second thing, my brother, has to do with the president's tour. My brother Sekou, you see, that's what we continue to tell people. People who have a different mindset of this particular president leadership, I tend to agree with them. I agree with them for the simple fact that they are not used to this kind of presidency. We, over the period, have been used to this imperial presidency where the man who is the president, that president, anything he say, that he say. If he say A, everybody must say A. If he say B, everybody must say B. We are not used to a kind of presidency where when the president is so down to earth that you have the right to disagree with him and say what is your mind, and you will not be intimidated, you will not lost, nothing will happen to you. We are not used to it. And that's the reason why when this president opened up this presidency, there are other people who have been there for a very long time feel that, it's uncomfortable because he has exposed the presidency to the common people. Now, this president made a tour. Hello?
We're listening to you.
Thank you very much, my brother Sekou. This president made a tour. He did a very, very good tour of the hinterland. My brother, in today's SONA, I was listening and at the same time I was sharing tears. The reason for which this president made that particular country tour, it was not on a political basis, my brother. It was not on a political basis. Like many people look at it to be. Today, from this speech, my brother said, as I'm talking now, I want to even cry.
Don't cry. Don't cry, please.
Okay, I will hold my heart. But you see, when the president spoke today, the president spoke of the urgent poverty and the challenges that our people have been undergoing for 200 plus years. In fact, more than 200 years. The president said 200, like you are doing existed more than 200 years. But the one who know on Boga, I will say 200 years today. So let's just take it as it is 200 years. But my brother, when the president traveled, he's interacting with his people on the level of a child interacting with his family. You saw in the State of the Nation address where the president talked about some of the things that you would never expect a president to talk about because of some political reason. People will expect that no, Mr.
Prince, if you don't mind, I want you to conclude now, please. Okay, so we can take other call-offs.
Okay, so to conclude, the president touched on the abject challenges and poverty that he saw, and he also spoke on his own intervention that he is making as a president, taking the presidency from capital building and carrying it to the people in the interior. He talked about the 100-bedroom hospital that have been constructed first time in the history of Liberia in Bapolu. He talked about the river cess, bridge project and the road project. He talked about the River G hospital that have been built, and even talked about other projects that actually you will be undertaking. So what I want to say to Liberians in order for me to conclude is that yes, there are challenges, but I think the progress that we are making as a people has far exceeded the challenges that we have. But again, my brother Sekou, I want to say under the Palava Hall, we'll be having an extensive, look at this SONA. But thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be able to, express myself. But the president did exceptionally well, and we all can work with it and pick the
and before you go, let me say this to you.
Yes, sir.
You did extremely well by selling your president and by come and praise singing for your president, which is good. But the only thing you did bad was to come and take our credit and give it to CDC. That's unfair. But thank you very much.
Hey, my brother, say good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, Prince, and there were a lot of calls coming. For some reason, my people, I apologize. The other line, it keeps going to the voicemail. So everybody can keep calling the first number. The second line, for some reason, is not going in. It's not going through today. But we still have some time. So Steve,
yeah, we got about 10-15 more minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people calling, but for some reason, I know the call is going to the voicemail. So please, people, call the other number, the first number, the one that ends with 0783.
But why you won't put me in situation? I know you put my yeah, but that's only I want to say.
Your phone number in that situation?
Yeah, that's secret. That's that secret number. They can come on here for secret reason. But yeah, here's the thing.
Okay, all right. I can coach Abu call coming through. Hello, coach. Yeah, you're live. You're live. Go ahead.
Okay. So you give me the opportunity?
Yeah, your line is open for you. Everybody listening to you.
Oh, thank you so much, brother. I like your show this afternoon. I'm happy about it because all we're talking concern about Liberia issue. Because we live in America and we've been seeing how the country been built by people, by the government, not individual. But the Liberian people fail to realize that a government can build a country, and not individual. But we, the Liberia as a whole, destroying one another for jealousy business, bringing us back to the country that actually we have been struggling for so many decades. The oldest country in Africa, the richest country in Africa is because of Bitcoin. It's because of frustrated country. We say in America, paying our taxes, working harder. You lose your job here, you worry. You lose everything. Even you can't get a good hug if you alone until you be a purpose. Can you imagine? Liberia will get a president now who not taking the money, lavishing it on girls or lavishing it on people. He's taking the money and putting it on good news, building hospital for our people, building roads for our people, building hospital. For you and myself tomorrow, our sisters and brothers were entering our hospital. They're not going Ghana. They're not going Nigeria. They're not going America. What you guys want? You want 1847. You want the country will be the oldest country in Africa. It's the least country now in Africa. Look at Gambia today. They're celebrating what they beat. They beat a team. Done by African combination before. They beat them today, they kick them out. What we talking about in Liberia today? What we the Liberian in America, we get all the master degree, we get all the money. But what do we do in Liberia? You're not paying your taxes back to the Liberian government. But you want this government to do miracle to destroy it more, then they can run with it. But you know, I appreciate what the people are doing. So I'm frustrated with you people because you're there for toileting, you're there for something that for your interest. They're not a country because you don't love the country. If you love that country, all of you will take impact to it. To save it. What the president doing in the country is good for you and myself. It's good for our brothers and our sisters then.
Thank you, Coach.
The money not going away. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you very much.
All right.
All right. So let's go to the line here. We have a lot of callers here. So when I answer your phone, just stay on the line. And then when I call your number, that means it's your turn to speak. Caller here, the last 4 digits, 3232. 612 number. What is your name and where are you calling from? Hello?
My name is Maurice Ducle. I call from Minnesota.
Maurice Ducle, go ahead.
I've been monitoring your show for almost an hour. So
Yes, sir.
I get you asking question what we learned from George Weah's speech today.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Simple the thing here is that even if George Weah go home and decide to listen to himself, he will not even understand what he said today. Yeah, so if the man cannot understand himself, then what's more of all that listening? And what really surprised me here is that you have educated people sitting under the voice of George Weah, misleading them, and they are there clapping. I mean, this just shows to us that these guys, they don't have love for that country at all. I mean, it just shows this is another way of just mocking at the Liberian people and, you know, not trying to help them in that situation, but showing mockery to the detriment of the Liberian people. I mean, that speech today, even you bring somebody from England to listen to that man's speech, they will not understand anything. But I say this to say, George Weah make us to understand that he's not educated. I don't want us to be like, you cannot force water on a rock. It's not possible. This man, he's not educated at all. These guys, they can just go and read those things and tell you, say, oh, go and say it. For him to sit and read by himself to say, oh, they want to put in, let me do some editing on my own. Even editing. At the time, when they read speech for editing, she will sit and read and mix and edit. But he don't care. So they mock him in a sense that because they know he inability to read, inability to understand that what they use. So they just give it to him and tell him, say, go say, I hear you talking about empowering LACC to fuel corruption. I listened to that one. I felt like it was a mockery. So all we need to do, I listen to what I say, the only way Liberians will prove to themselves that what they are going through, they are tired of it, is turning to the tree. What we will produce or the decision we will take, it will determine whether we will keep these guys there to keep us in the kind of condition or to keep making mockery of us. You have country no fair setup. We expecting you to come and tell us about the education setup, the security setup. Nothing that you not talk about. You can be explaining all kinds of things. Nobody understands what you say. So, like the other caller said, we will decide that where Liberia will tell where they will express their anger. So, thank you for having me on.
Thank you, brother. Let's take another caller here. We have a lot of calls, but unfortunately, the other line is not working. Let's take this call here. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? I think this is our overseas number. I'm not sure.
Sam from Australia. How you doing?
Sam from Australia. I know that was the overseas call. How are you doing, my brother?
Thanks, man. I'm good.
Yeah, so go ahead. What's your take? What's your take on the speech?
You know, I think President Weah today, he said a lot of things that were not necessary. And he said some things that were necessary that the citizens and the Liberian people needed to know. President Weah exposed himself today again that he's not really doing the Liberian people job. Because most of the project that people are boasting of, they should go and listen. President Weah said initiative, donations, and help from our partners. It's a shame that people would praise President Weah for Japan donating money to fix a road when Liberia is collecting her own taxes. All the project President Weah named today that were finished, my brother, listen to that clip and name 10 or 5 of those projects that were really fully funded by the Liberian government. You either hear part payment were made by government or it was a donation. And he took most of his speech explaining receiving a donation. My question to the citizen, are we not collecting taxes in our country? And I listen to the other caller talking, what if people, he that was talking, he paying the taxes in Liberia? He lives in America, he paying taxes in Liberia? Some of these people, when they talk, they need to think before they talk. But there were a few things that President Weah highlighted, and I'm happy. President Weah talked about the plan we have, I know, hope for whatever that she's doing. Thank God President Weah reported that to us today, because we all knew that she was using government money. So he finally reported that today. So Plan Weah had to be audited for that project. Another thing I got from President Weah's speech, the people that wrote that speech, they did not help him. They should have done a short PowerPoint presentation where he will give short information about every sector. President Weah did not talk about the security. He did not emphasize on agriculture. Key sectors in the country, he did not talk about them. But let me just take the last part of his speech. Let peace reign. President Weah gave Bernie Samoka the chance to serve his people in Lofa. Let peace reign. President Weah provides security for the Liberian people so the unnecessary killing can stop. Let peace reign. President Weah make sure the too much stealing that is in the country that pissing the Liberian people off. Let peace reign. President Weah, yes, stop chasing people, stop beating protesters. Recently, there was a protest held by Kumi supporters. You beat them up. Even today, Bernie Samoka supporters were planning to protest. You beat them. You say you don't have, political prisoner, but you got political deaths in the country, in their thousands, in their tens or in numbers. Let peace reign. If you live in a glass house, don't throw stone. If you sit in pepper, don't bust it, President Weah.
Thank you.
You crying for peace to reign, you have to initiate the peace. You keep embarrassing people. Listen to that project that he called in, Lofa Country. President Weah, that he spoke on paper speaking about that same project to tell you how divisive this guy is. Listen to him speak carefully, Siko. He said, congratulations to Nima Country, congratulations to the other country that won, congratulations to Grand Crew for winning the basketball and the kickball. The country meet, only two countries won, Nima and Lofa. Why you can't open your mouth, President Weah, and say congratulations to Lofa? If it's the peace you want to reign, the sedition need to sit down and listen to Weah. Weah only took that long to confuse people because he knew if he would have taken short period of time to say something, people will have analyzed it and condemn him more. But he just said a lot of gibberish, so people can get a bit confused to not know what to really pick from among his speech.
Thank you.
Thanks for the time, brother. So people that bring Sheridan need to sit down and find someone else to go talk.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I think today's show is crazy. I don't know this line, man. For some reason, I'm still having trouble. So, Steve, somebody, while we wait for another call, somebody calls are coming in or on the other line. So, everybody, please keep calling the first number. Forget about the second one. Saying the calls are not coming through. I don't know for whatever reason that is. I got more than close to 100 calls coming because that's the original number, but people are not getting it. They're not coming through.
Well, Mr. Kane, I sent you a message. The conversation, a long conversation. Check your message there. But
yeah, I got it.
Quick question. Quick thing I wanted to say about this whole thing here, and then maybe we can get one or two more callers in before we call it a day. Mr. Kane, the bottom line, what people don't want us to talk about, and people are jumping around. I will stay stick with the President George Weah. And I hate to say it, but he cannot be doing that. Our friends and our partners will look at him because the data wouldn't add up to prove his lies. President George Weah and any other president want to better Liberia. They want to better the lives of Liberians. There's easy way. There's a step to it. There's an easy step to it. There is an easy step to it. Any other president. One of the things we talk about is keeping our people in poverty, Mr. Kane. Liberian people. Let me say this. Yesterday or last night, I had a conversation. And in this conversation, I was telling the person that spoke with me on the phone that to tell you how much we Liberians we are in a bigger trouble is just think about it. How we build houses now as compared to what we term as normal day, where I believe that there have never been normal days in Liberia. That's why I believe. But Mr. Kane, can you imagine an entire country? If you go to Liberia right now, the way they build the houses, the way they build the homes, is a sense of being in prison. Imagine you building your house and you got to put iron gate to the door. You got to have the big door that they make like the prison doors. Mm-hmm. That alone tell you that we have a long way to go.
The country is not safe.
Yes. That alone tells you, it speaks volume. Because for you to be in your own country and you got to build your house with iron door, as a result of that, when fire breaks up somewhere, before they can even find all the different keys and all the different things to unlock the door alone, the smoke will kill people.
Yeah.
So this is problematic. We have a bigger problem at hand.
So let's take this call, then we can call it a day.
Okay.
Caller, what is your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, brother Connor, my name is Walter, calling from Connecticut.
Connecticut. How you doing, Walter?
Steve can be lobby just that.
Why?
Steve is seamless. When you tell Liberians.
Hold on. Yeah, I know, but you don't want to start with that, please.
No, I can tell my man because you don't need to before. Anyway, let me take it back. But let me
Okay.
tell you.
Yeah.
I think he gets drafted. Let me put Liberia when he gets drafted.
You can say that.
Liberia is not the only country in West Africa or in Africa that will build a room and put iron bar to the doors on windows. Go Nigeria, go Ghana, go Ivory Coast, everywhere. See, when you're trying to bring the argument, your argument can be so lazy that sometimes it makes no sense. All over West Africa, people build a house and put iron door, iron gate, real iron door there. Go Ivory Coast, I lived in Ivory Coast 7 years. Before Ivory Coast went to Civil War, I lived there, they had iron door there. Go Ghana, go Nigeria, the same thing. So it's just take out of argument from them. One of the callers talked about the president's speech was nothing but garbage, and the president should go back and listen to their own speech. Some of the things that he said, the president didn't say. You guys can attest to. The president spoke again for about the agriculture. He talked about even the cocoa, how our cocoa has been upgraded to the extent where people praise Liberian cocoa. So Liberian exporting cocoa now, good cocoa. So that he didn't hear about all that. You understand? Look, my brother, the president talked about the amount of development that is taking place in the country simultaneously all over the country. The yellow machine, he spoke about it. Those are pluses for the president. The president talked about the hospital being built around the places. The president even hit one of the things, and I saw what Prince Sherry said. Prince Sherry said the president visit to the hinterland. People politicizing the time campaign. The man said, I want to see for first hand how my people live. And because what he saw, it broke his heart. He said he will undertake project, and based on recommendation made by those people, there are development going on in those states, counties where he rehabilitating or what you call it, city halls and building new city hall and improving or putting a facility for our young people, building schools, opening roads, and all that kind of stuff. That's a plus for this president. My brother, one of the things I would say that our people, I don't care even if they vote Mr. President or today, the next president will not be able to achieve anything that you guys are putting forth, because development is not a one-day thing. Development is not an event. It's a process.
Thank you.
It's a process. Someone will speak true to our people, brother.
Got you. Got your point. Got your point. Thank you very much. Just a second. I need to take this call. It looks like there's a guy that called from Australia trying to clarify something. I don't know. There's somebody else. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, Sekou is me. You know the guy that just called? These are some of the Liberian and living exiles that always try to lie to the people back home. So cocoa is the only product you get in Liberia that has to do with agriculture. Is the only cocoa the agriculture product you get in Liberia? So because President we are talking about cocoa, then he talks about agriculture. What is the agricultural status of the country? And what is the plan to take the country forward? How much is he investing in agriculture? The next thing he talked about, President, we are facing, and he was feeling bad how he saw the people. 2017 election, President, we are touring all those countries. You want to tell me, President, we did not see what he saw? Is that what you're trying to tell me now? When Tangi Bato even made a video about him, when an old lady walked to him and told him, my son, help us in the suffering. So when President, we are on our tour doing camping time, you were in space? It wasn't in Liberia, he walk around. What's with you guys when you try to praise this man, you overpraise him. All the projects we are doing, everything was donated by partners. Partners put money in it. Even one project beside that Omega market. You know,
my brother, we don't want to reduce it into a conversation between you and the president. Let's take another call, please.
No.
Yeah, let's do that. Caller, what is your name and where you calling from?
Mr. Kane, just before you.
Yeah, I want to take this call.
Okay.
Just a second. But let's take the caller first on the. Hold on. Yeah, call out 602 number. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Augustine McKay from Phoenix, Arizona.
Augustine McKay from Phoenix, Arizona. Go ahead, Augustine.
Yeah, Steve and I'm still good. I mean, I want you to say thanks to you guys. You guys are doing a very good job.
Thank you.
You know, I was very down after my speech, maybe real. But
Okay.
the person spoke and there was nothing about security. Did not took the advantage to speak about security. One of the most important is we just have a serious issue, however. He did not speak about it. But again, the Liberia should remember, this was a man during the campaign of 2017 refused to go for debate. This was a man refused to talk to the Liberian people. What was his plan? Now he running campaign. Liberian should understand. You know, to lie is hard. That's why the speech was very long. You gotta have to go all around. For example, when someone do something, you ask them question, if they did it, it will be yes or no. But the speech was so long that anybody to speak against the speech, you have to sit down and listen to it over and over. Because it was very long. That's the first thing.
Thank you.
And we should not forget, these guys have a plan. These guys have a plan. This is not for George Weah. It's about the people that see that they can use this man to get what they can get for the country. So, again, I mean, I want to say thanks to you guys.
Thank you.
It's a good thing you guys doing to make the public to know what's going on. And, you know, you guys, there's something to one of the corner, which I love. Nobody should come on public radio and lie to our people. If you speak of anything, get proof, get evidence. And allow all of the things the president spoke on. When did he do it? Or is he telling us that they coming to do it now? Or they did it before? Because there's nothing going on in Liberia besides building roads. You know? So he didn't say he working on schools. I mean, what all the lies for?
Bro, thank you very much.
Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. So, Steve, calls that stay coming in. I don't want to disappoint a lot of people. I want us to take it the next 13 minutes to 2 hours 40 minutes.
They have two callers.
Yeah, okay, but then hold on. Let's take this call. Then I'll take your caller. Two callers.
Yes.
Caller, what is your name? Where are you calling from? 612.
Hi, my name's Gwen. I'm calling from Detroit.
How you doing?
Good. I wasn't even sure whether my call was going through.
I know. A lot of calls been coming.
Yes, but you know, I've been following this show from day one.
Yes.
Voicing my opinion for Liberia. But you know, George, we have speech today. Really, we didn't really expect much. So we really didn't get much. But what I got out of this speech here, and I was asking when this man was speaking, everything he was talking about is donor funded. Is our country getting any revenue to take care of itself? Because everything is donor funded. The roads, even from Freeport now, the Japanese people are going to build a road from Gabertoko Beach to Freeport. And when the Freeport APM terminal charge so much money, but I just think can we build a road now? So everything, the money not being used for the purpose it's supposed to be used for. Education, hospitals, and let me just tell people, hospital is not for building. That is the reason why Medicine Sans Frontier can go anywhere and set up hospital and do surgery. Hospital is not for a 100-room building or a 5-room building. Hospital is the staff and the equipment and the expertise used to do those procedures. That's what they call a hospital is not for building. So let's just forget about you can build 100 building instead of hospital. If it's not equipped, it will not be a hospital. And we who sitting in the diaspora, we call and then we'll be backing charge your phone that the job that in Monrovia, children walk the streets of Monrovia from day to night. That's the only job there. If you don't want to steal, you can get on the street to say minutes where you get $10 liberty. That's the only job there, nothing else. Why Mele Samuel 12 is talking about we will pay taxes? Mele Samuel 12 got 3 people in the yard. One for your children, one for yourself, one for your wife. Why is it being sweet for your wife? Because number one, like when we will sweet. So where all our waste of public finances for? Liberia open your eye and who they abroad. Let's educate our people. 2023, people should vote wisely and not put George Weah there. George Weah is very defiant. He's improving. He don't care. He don't care. It's only about them and a group of friends. When you go, you see the suffering in the people you will know. This man don't care. I will go there. We carry our little more money. We stay there 2 more weeks. And if we don't do it, we come back. We can't wait for 2 more.
Yeah.
We ourselves will not survive in Liberia if we stay there for 6 months and don't have more money coming for abroad. All the people that are supporting George, we are the fishery men, I dare you. You go to Liberia, carry your children there to stay there. And nobody will see your money, you're not working the government. If you're making it, then you can't tell me.
Thank you.
Because you guys are fraud.
Thank you.
And we're not put up with it.
Thank you. Thank you, my sister. Thank you very much. So, Steve, to you.
Yeah, I have a caller here. Okay, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, please?
My name is Moses, where I'm calling from Des Moines, Iowa. I think I want to bring a different topic a little bit. The issue of the Zogo Seku. I think Liberia, the generation is destroying, the drugs are destroying the generation. And I don't know what the legislation are doing about it in the government. It's getting very bad to the extent that the country, the youth future is destroying. So the government need to create a program. They should try to pass a bill that they can get money and build rehabilitation center everywhere in the 15 county and put people there and open a clinic to be treating the people and make them useful in the society. If not 5 to 6 years from now, I'm telling you, you will be able to walk in a daylight. It's getting scary. I'm telling you, people are getting afraid to travel to Liberia to even do business. Because you're walking on the street in the night, people come and jump on you and do something. Nothing is happening. Another thing again, the police need to be reformed. The government need to reform the police. The police should be able to protect the citizens. So that's my concern.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You have another caller, right?
No, the other person did not. They hung out. They couldn't wait.
All right. So, yeah. So I think we have. Caller, what is your name and where you calling? I didn't know I had someone on hold. What is your name and where you calling from? I apologize.
How you doing, bro? Sego?
Oh, I'm good. That's Mr. Noah. How are you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to build my brain up a little bit. It's been for so long.
Yeah.
I've now called on SKTV. But let me say this: the president spoke of peace.
Oh, what?
Well, I said the president spoke of peace.
Okay.
He spoke of peace. He spoke of a lot of things today.
Yeah.
Let me first of all start with the agriculture sector in our country. What is the president and the ministers of agriculture is doing to praise the cocoa farmer, those who plant cocoa in the Republic of Liberia? What kind of help the president is giving to these farmers? Secondly, the president spoke of cocoa is strong. Where are we going? He took 3 different speeches. One is the inaugural speech. 2, the 2019 speech, the annual speech. 3, 2020. 4, 2021. He put everything together to confuse we, the Liberian people. Although he might be doing something better in another way. But I speak on this farmer that he praising farmers today. What really the government is doing for the Liberian farmer? as Steve put it correctly, you don't lie to people in the broad day. Broad day light, you don't lie to people. You don't. As a leader, you tell the people, look, I am very, very sorry. Lord, all of us come together and do this thing for our country to be developed. We are the least developed country around the world. Over 200 years of our existence. Since 1816. Since 1816, where are we? People talking about roads. Yes, roads is better. My older sister just talked about hospital. If you build a hospital with nothing in it, will you call that building hospital? Will you call that as a healthcare facility when there is nothing in the hospital? Our people are dying every day. Not look at the little boy they killed interpreter. That EPS guy they killed interpreter. Where is the investigation today, Brother Sego?
Nowhere.
Look at the full auditors. Where is it today? Where the investigation today? Look at the 3 little boys. Men, I will not even call them little boys. Where the investigation stand today? When President calling for peace, it is not him. It is not President Weah that keeping his peace. It's we, Liberian people, are tired of war, and we don't want no war in our country. You do your little 1-2 years, you go to Liberia, you build your house. This is what we want. But it's not the president. The president is pushing people to do something that we don't supposed to do. Look at although the senator-elect, Bonnie Samuka from Lofa, yes, there is if and but behind him. But as a president, you have to sit down sometimes and take some decision and say, you know what? No, I'm tired of this. I don't want anybody to blame me tomorrow, but I will take this decision and the executive clemency.
Thank you.
Don't forget about it. But he's not doing it. Where the peace, Brother Tego? And he never congratulated Lupa or Keyboard.
You did not? So he didn't mention Lofa?
He didn't mention Lofa. He didn't mention his home.
That was bad.
It is not fair. We have 15
maybe that was an oversight.
All right, thank you, Brother Sego.
Thank you. Yeah, maybe the president, maybe whoever wrote the speech, that was a bad oversight. That could get the president into trouble with Lofa people. Caller, what is your name and where you calling from? This seems like a Victor. I think that's the second to the last caller.
Yeah, so how you doing, man? This is Victor.
Victor, how are you?
I'm good. Look, my brother, you said what's on our mind, and I just got to say the truth today. I was just in Liberia, Brother Seko. Liberia is going backwards. Every day that passes by, Liberia is going backwards like 2 weeks. We are falling apart. If you go to Liberia, all the young people, all they do is beg. The young people, you go to the store to buy, Brother Seko, you buy your stuff. Over 10 persons want to live that one box up to take it to your car. Everybody begging Liberia. What kind of country is that you don't have direction, no direction?
That's bad.
You know what I'm saying? And then the opposition see all these things, but they don't care. They're so greedy people. I don't want them to just care about themselves. I hope somebody will come up and be able to take us in a new direction. Because we are away again. If we don't come together, what is wrong with these people? Do you want to be president or you want to save your people?
That's
No,
crazy.
but if the opposition cannot come together now, we are away again. Our people are desperately in need. They need help. They need nobody to lead us. Nobody. Everybody going their own way. Brother Sekou.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's an embarrassment today. The guy reading like a third grade student. And people sitting there clapping for the guy. You see what promoted does?
Yeah, it's crazy.
My daughter asked me, I was watching the thing on TV. My daughter asked me who was reading. I was so ashamed myself, like a traditional leader of Liberia reading. Can you imagine that?
How you call a person a traditional leader?
The traditional, because you know, when you call about tradition, they don't go to school, so he's not well school. So he's a traditional leader. But it's a shame. The opposition needs to come together now to put that country back on track.
All right, my brother. My brother, thank you.
But
Thank you very much. Okay, this is the last caller here, the local caller. 917. What is your name and where you calling from? That's the last caller because we already hit the 2 hour 30 minutes.
Yes, my name is MJ. I'm calling from Iowa.
Oh, MJ?
Yeah, long time.
I know, right?
I just have to call.
MJ, welcome.
I just have to call. Because situations are making me upset, so I just have to call.
Okay.
All right, let me just make them to understand this. Right? Okay. My brother on the other side, Joey went to my county. He said he break ground last year. He said he was coming to build 200 bedroom hospital. Up to this time, we still see the grass not there. All right. The last time the government students that in my county, they put a turn outside because the building was not paid for. Your government said that he building school. And how come the other students money was not paid? Yeah? So let me just make you to understand this. Everything you're saying, they make out 1 year and 11 months less. So you're like I said, you're get on the roof, you're saying that you're going to go. We're not stupid. Joe will be out of that country 2023. We're not going to run out of that place. We're just going to vote him out. This is enough. We are tired. Simple call Liberia for you to see these things. It's very, very sad. It's sad. Our people even got nowhere to go. No food to eat. Can you imagine? There's a guy, I'm not going to call his name. The man lost his life because of the whole frustration thing. He killed himself. Let his father and kids. Are you guys killing me? There are people on here talking about we are doing good. We're gonna go. We're gonna run. Tomorrow when they gonna be a run, they'll roads for. First of all the religion been building inside the whole thing. I'm secretary of the thing. I'm talking today because the campaign start next month. We are gonna take Georgia out. And when I find out we're gonna spend it. Georgia, you're gonna leave our country. We are sick and tired of you. We are tired. That long speech you're gonna give to confusing people. We don't even know what the hell you were talking about. We just there listening to you. So frustrated. No food, nothing. Our people they're hungry. They are there supporting Georgia. That we don't support to be clapping for Georgia. Yeah? That we don't be clapping for him. We're not going to be clapping for that man anymore. Opposition. I don't care who you guys are. You guys need to come together now. You gotta take that country back. You gotta take that country back. So go are killing people there. They are there clapping for Georgia. What kind of wickedness is that? They say what can bring war? They're gonna think they bring war. 2023, yeah? When you're not strong, do not come on social media because we're gonna do this thing like a real war because we're gonna run the campaign. This campaign is start now. This is enough. We want to return back home. We're not here to consider in the people country, yeah? Another make country, not your country. Another make country, not your country. Period.
All right, my sister, thank you.
I don't care everybody in the people. Television. I'm very upset.
I can tell.
Don't give me to even call in.
Yeah. I got you. I feel your pain, my sister. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right. Man, the Prince man can always call whenever we were leaving. Prince, like 1 minute again, 1 minute.
1 minute?
1 minute. Because I said that was the last caller, but you keep calling. So 1 minute.
1 minute?
Yeah, 1 minute, and don't count.
One Labrador minute or American minute?
One American minute, another Labrador minute, right?
We will have to do a part 2 to this, and I'm sure SKTV is well noted for that. I think you hear everybody as the call. But Sekou, let us not be sentimental about we are speech. Not be more or less because we.
Hey, please hold on. Let me say this. Please, my people, please stop calling now. Yeah, because I'm not going to take any more call. Please, we got to go now. Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, people still calling, but I'm not going to take any more call. Please, the next time. Yeah. Go ahead, Prince.
Yeah, let us not be sentimental about it. Let us be more or less realistic in the sense that we, the Liberian people, are the stakeholder in this thing. And it is by constitutional mandate that the president comes every year, the fourth Monday in Article 58.
Well, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what happened to Sekou's internet. Oh, I think he's back on. Something is not right from his end.
Take myself out. I apologize, Prince. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, the president has to make a report. It's not a speech. The Constitution is a mandate of the president not to go and make a speech. It's to make a report. What sort of report is the president supposed to make by constitutional requirement? Go in Article 34 of the Liberian Constitution, indeed, Part 2. An annual statement and account of expenditure of all public monies shall be submitted by the office of the president to the legislatures and also published once a year. Sekou, have you seen anything published to you? Or have you heard anything submitted to the House of Legislature?
No.
Regarding the expenditure of this particular government. And we are government is not unique to this. Previous government, most government. In fact, that has been the trend. That has been the status quo in Liberia. Come out there and get a flattery speech. Then look at in Article 38, it says that on the 4th Monday of January each year, once a year, the president go before the legislature and what do again? What? Make a report. Not just give an empty speech. Make a report. And what is the report covering? In presenting the economic condition of the country, the report shall cover what? Expenditure and what? As well as income. Did you hear anything in our speech, in our voice of jubilance that President Weah gave? Did you hear anything about that? Did he give a detailed report about the economic condition?
You want me to expire? Amen. So,
all right, then
conclude.
I'll reserve the rest of my Liberian meeting and then we'll discuss it another time.
No
Thank
problem.
you very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, we got to leave it there. So, folks, we say thank you. We are still awaiting the response from the opposition, if any. I don't know whether we have opposition that are ready to say something. Some people kind of limit opposition to the CPP, and opposition is not only the CPP, but because the other opposition are treating themselves, oppositioning themselves at that level, that's why nobody really considers them. Other than that, when such a speech is governed, we expect the opposition to give a rebuttal, at least say something to the contrary, or maybe sometime dissect this president's speech and give contrary opinion so that people can have the option, the opportunity to weigh in, as to look at what we have and the alternative. But if you do not have alternative, that speaks volume of the vacuum that we currently have in Liberia when it comes to politics. Steve, we got to leave it there for today. And, I think this was a great show. So we got to leave it there and say goodbye, unless you have an announcement to make so we can go.
Well,
you have an announcement?
Yes. Thursday, we'll be here. Hopefully we'll have a continuation of this conversation with Perfect Manager. We have already confirmed that he'll be here on Thursday. Hopefully by then we would have had also the rebuttal from the opposition so that we can have a balanced conversation here as to, what the opposition points are, whatever it is. Having followed some of the conversations, I know one of the political leaders that was at this speech was Elizana Cummings. And from one of the clips that was sent to us, he did promise that there will be a rebuttal. So we are waiting for that rebuttal as soon as possible. I hope they don't drag their rebuttal, I would encourage the opposition to get on it as soon as possible.
You said Kumi's gonna give a rebuttal?
Yes.
When today?
Hold on one second. Let me just play this really quick in just a few seconds. This is what he said here today.
Up to Hive, outside here, they are in the compound of the Liberian Parliament. Up to Hive, 1 or 2 takeouts here. Up to Hive, 1 or 2 takeouts here. So, however, it is all over here from the Lieutenant John Amos of the Capitol building, the 5th State of the Nation address. His Excellency President George Weah is over, so we're going to take the pros and cons of his address, talking about women empowerment and more women.
Is there a particular area where you want to?
Yes, there's
There
it.
must have been some digestion taking place. Isn't it? There is some. And so, what are the needs and wants? Digestion and will respond appropriately. Okay.
Okay. Well, so we'll digest it and we'll respond appropriately. That was
who said that?
Alexander Belene Cummings. So we'll wait.
They do not have any prepared response for the government. They would digest the speech.
Exactly.
And give a response. Okay.
Indeed. I
look forward to that. And once we get it, we will listen to it. We might play it and analyze it.
Yes, most definitely. But we'll be on Saturday as well, Thursday. Like we said, we'll continue this conversation Thursday. And we'll have our perfect manager on here. We'll also have other discussions with him concerning the politics of Liberia, so that we can move forward into this conversation. But we want to thank you for sticking with us and staying with us throughout this time. We appreciate you. We look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Unless something happens within the next few days, we expect it to be on Thursday.
And again, people don't forget how we are on YouTube. SKTV is on YouTube. From yesterday, we have committed to make sure that every time we go live, we also add YouTube to it. So please.
So we'll be YouTube
will be on YouTube the whole time.
No, so that means we're going to add different stations, Matuno, YouTube, and thousands of followers will follow us.
It's okay. All right, folks. What did thank you to everybody?
Well, thank you so much.
Steve don't make me laugh here, and don't get me off track. So also want to say thank you to everybody. We really appreciate your time. And let me play. I don't know what kind of song to play here.
Thursday will be on Matuno,
I'm gonna play Advocate that song. What is that?
It's 6 different channels.
Why is Advocate that song? I wanna. How come that? Oh, they really want to go because you now start playing the Guinea. I mean, I don't know the African Cup of Nations stuff.
Who?
Yeah,
Niki majigi aladi koroba. Mama do one get Say bani mama do de jeba for the macho. See you want to move. Kana bene macho. Jairi ba koro move. Kana bene macho. Kana bene macho. Kana bene macho.